This is a demonstration of exercise 333, determine marginal tax rate and the tax on operating profit. Amgen Inc. reported the following in its tax footnote to the 2018 financial statements, and the problem tells us to use this information to answer the requirements. So they have provided us with the information from Amgen's tax footnote showing where they reconciled from the federal statutory tax rate down to their effective tax rates for each of these 3 years. The A part of the problem states determine the tax rate that we should use to compute tax on operating profit for each year. And if you remember from your textbook, we use the combined federal and state statutory tax rates to compute the tax on operating profit. However, when we look through the information that was provided by Amgen, we don't see a state statutory tax rate. So perhaps Amgen doesn't pay any state taxes, so we will just use the federal statutory tax rates that were in effect for the 3 years. In the B part, it states compute the amount of tax on net operating profit for 2018 and that the company reported the following items on its 2018 income statement. So they provided us with selected information from the 2018 income statement on the net interest expense, the interest and other income net, and the provision for income tax. Now, if you remember, when we're computing the amount of tax on net operating profit, we're going to have to first determine what the tax shield is. So the tax shield is equal to the statutory tax rate, which for 2018 was 21%, and then we'll multiply that by the net amount of non-operating expense. So we had net interest expense for 2018 of $1,392 million, and we had net interest and other income of $674 million. So we're going to net these two amounts to get the net amount of expense and multiply that by 21%, and that means that the amount of expense that we had that was non-operating saved us $151 million in income tax. So now we can determine what the actual tax was on our operating profit. We take our provision for income tax, which is going to be, of course, all of the tax on the operating and non-operating items, and we're going to add back that tax shield, that $151 million that we saved on our non-operating items. So the tax on our operating profit was $1,302 million. And that is the conclusion of the demonstration for exercise 333.